in because I felt like I couldn't go to God with it. In this video, I want to share with you that no matter what it is that you are struggling with, no matter what it is that you are going through, God can handle it. He wants to deal with the dead stuff. He wants to deal with the failure. He wants to deal with it. And he's asking you, would you give it to him? Here we go.
I think I came to preach today. That wasn't that funny. Show me where the dead stuff is. And then now they begin to approach the grave. And look what Martha's response is when he's approaching the grave, because this is insightful. It says, Jesus was still angry as he arrived at the tomb. A cave with a stone rolled across its entrance. He says, roll the stone aside. Jesus told them, but Martha, the dead man's sister, protested. And look how she protests. Lord, I want to give you the picture. It's Jesus. I'm Jesus. I'm Martha. And Jesus is like, roll the stone away. Show me where you've put him. Martha's like, no, Jesus, like, no, like, you can't. He's been dead too long. If you open up this grave, he would be too smelly. And this is what I believe Jesus would tell you today. I think this is what Jesus wants to tell you. He would tell you, whatever it is, I can handle it. I think that if you encountered him today, I think that that's what he wants to tell you. I think he wants to tell you, hey, whatever it is, I can handle it. And I don't know about you, but I've been at that place where I've been like, Jesus, no, like this is like, no, like this is way too deep. This is way too gone. This is way too dirty. This is way too muggy. This is way too ugly. This is way too, no, you can't. It's too, she goes, it's too smelly. It will reek of death. And Jesus is like, yeah, I can handle it. No, maybe if I dress it up, maybe I put a little bit of perfume, maybe if it just goes away for like, no, he's like, let me tell you, I can handle it. Show me the dead stuff. Show me the ugliness. Show me all that stuff. There's a communicator by the name of Matt Chandler, and he recites this story that moved me and that touched me so profoundly. And Matt Chandler recites this story that there was a preacher that was giving a talk on sex, and he was talking about sex to teenagers. And if you don't know what sex is, ask your parents. But Jesus, this speaker begins to give a Christian Jesus sex talk. And what he does is, at best, the way Matt Chandler describes it, he says this is fear mongering at its best. That this preacher just began to kind of guilt trip all the teenagers, and one of his illustrations was to take a rose. And he takes this rose and he passes it all around the room. He says, oh man, this rose smells so good and it's amazing. Look how beautiful this rose is. And he takes the rose and he says, hey, grab this rose, but I want you to pass it all around the room. And the climactic conclusion at the end of his message as he's preaching, and he says, oh, you don't want to catch a disease, and you should stay away from sex because it's just terrible. He says, but, oh, where's my rose? Somebody give me my rose. This is Matt Chandler telling this story. The rose comes around, and the rose, by the time it gets to the preacher's hand, it's broken, and the petals are coming out, and it's just broken up. And look what he says. He says, you think anybody would want this? You think anybody wants this broken rose? Well, that's how you look when you start sleeping around and this rose is broken and it's beat up. Nobody wants to spend the rest of their life with this. No one wants to be with this ugly thing. And that was his climactic conclusion, while Matt Chandler is sitting there screaming in his heart, you don't know that Jesus wants the rose. And that's what I believe God wants to say to you today. God say, no, I want the ugly stuff. I want the rose. I want your brokenness. I want your frailty. I want your mistake. I don't want just your worship. I want your worry too. I don't want just your faith. I want your fear too. I don't want just your praise. I want your pain too. I don't want just your devotion. I want your depression. I don't want just your gratitude. I want the grave clothes too. Somebody ought to give God a praise in this place. And sometimes we end up believing the lie that we need to fix it before we give it. It's like maybe when I get my stuff together, maybe if I'm a little bit cleaner, maybe because right now my marriage is too smelly. My relationship is too smelly. My addiction is too smelly. My hidden sin is too smelly. And I just want to tell you today that what God wants to declare before you on this Easter Sunday, He wants to say to you that, look, listen to me. He wants to say, hey, my son, my daughter, I can handle it.
Hey, thank you for watching this video, and if you have found any value from it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified anytime we release anything new. And if you're interested in more videos like this one, I want to recommend this one to you. Make sure you like it, comment, share it with the world. And last but not least, I want to thank all our Patreon partners. It's because of you we can keep all our content free and share God's love with the world. Remember J1335, love is our logo.